Guys, I have a football binder here, and I picked out my personal favorite positions, and I picked the best players in each position. But these cards are not like ordinary cards, like from 2020 and stuff. These cards are from 1990, and these are pretty cool. And for the first player here, we are going to start with the defensive end. Now, this guy is the best to ever play in his position. And his name is Reggie White. Now, this guy, he would terrorize the offensive linemen. He would destroy the quarterback. And for the second position is going to be an offensive position. The offensive position is going to be none other than the wide receivers. Now, there was 3 wide receivers, but I think the one that stuck out the most is Michael Irving. Michael Irving, his hands were just like super sticky. And any pass that came his way, boom, caught that. And then the second wide receiver, now this was tough, between Tim Brown and Herman Moore. Now there's no Jerry Rice or Randy Moss. If there was Jerry Rice or Randy Moss here, I would have put Jerry Rice at the beginning. And then maybe Moss and then Michael Irving. But I went with Herman Moore, a Lion. Now, Herman Moore played tight end and wide receiver. I feel like he was better at tight end. He was like Travis Kelce. He could block for you and catch. So, yeah. And then finally, Tim Brown. Now, this card, he played alongside Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. Those 2 players, Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, played on the same team, the Raiders. And yeah, Tim Brown was there too. So just put that right there. And now for defensive, we are gonna go with cornerbacks. The cornerback that I chose out of this binder. Now there was no Charles Woodson or anything like that. No Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was in there, I would have picked him straight away. But the person that stuck out in the cornerback position is Rod Woodson. Take a look. Look at this boy. Look at the boy. Now, Rod Woodson played for a pretty good team. Now, so the Steelers have a bunch of Super Bowl wins. I think they are the second. They have the second most Super Bowl wins. So that was the corner that I chose. And for another defensive player, the middle linebacker. Now there was no Brian Bosworth in here, no Ray Lewis. Okay, so I went with Junior Seau. Wow, he would lay the boom. I mean, boomstick, and he passed away sadly, and he is one of the best Chargers to ever live. So I chose him. So yeah. Now to an offensive player. We got one tight end. And again, there was no Travis Kelce or George Kittle or Tony G. There was a man named Shannon Sharpener. Shannon Sharpener. Here we go. See that card? This man is posing like if he was going to throw a football. This guy is not a quarterback. Don't let the picture fool you. Now we are about to start on these quarterbacks right here. Now these are pretty special. But this guy, he caught everything. Just like Tim Brown and them. Herman Moore caught everything. Shannon Sharp caught everything. All the wide receivers here literally caught everything. So that is pretty special. Now, moving on to the quarterback position. It was a three-way tie between Troy Aikman, John Elway, Steve Young. But the player that I chose, again, there was no Michael Vick or anything. Alright, so don't be blowing up the chat. So, the person that I went out of this binder was Steve Young. Steve Young. Now, Jerry Rice stuck with Joe Montana for most of the season. And he had trouble catching from Steve Young. So, but it's weird because Jerry Rice had more touchdowns with Steve Young than Joe Montana. So, props to Jerry. And now for the second number 8, so Steve Young. That's the first number 8. Second number 8 is Troy Aikman, the former teammate of Michael Irvin. This guy just threw dimes and dimes to Michael Irvin. So, yeah, that's why I picked him. And for the third one, John Elway. So, he was a pretty good Denver. Again, former teammate with Shannon Sharp, throwing dimes to Shannon Sharp and stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty good quarterbacks. Pretty good quarterbacks. Yet again, there was no Patrick Mahomes and stuff, okay? So, no. So, for the offensive line, if you guys watch KE's, if you guys watch him, if you guys don't watch him, then you guys should go subscribe to him. He is a Madden GOAT. So, one of his videos, he was like doing a video on Cunningham. He was doing a video on 99 overall Cunningham, and he said Randall McDaniel, and he was like, what the heck? The very next day, they released a Randall McDaniel. He said, is that even a person? Boom. Randall McDaniel. Randall McDaniel, yet again, there were no offensive linemen that were like today. These cards were from 1990. I know it should have Michael Vick in here, but nah, it didn't. Or Bo Jackson. Who knows? Bo Jackson.
I got some more binders.
You do?
Yeah.
Mm. So that's who I went with for the offensive line. Okay. There are two of the best, most important positions in NFL. The running backs and the safeties. Now, I'll go with a personal favorite, the running backs first. Now, there were no Barry Sanders, no Bo Jackson, but there was a little guy named Emmitt Smith. Bam! Emmitt Smith. There you go. Emmitt Smith, he just made defenders look like fools. Absolute fools. Like, made them turn around. Like Barry Sanders against the Patriots. 42 got spun like if he was in a ballerina class. So, yeah, the runner-up, Jerome Bettis. Jerome the Bus Bettis. There you go. Now, there was no Eric Dickerson, or else I would have went with him. Yeah. So Jerome Bettis was a huge guy. Now, Ronnie Lott, this guy blew up people. But, hear me out. If you go and watch the hardest hitters of all time, there's a guy named Steve Atwaters. And this guy was a hard hitter. He's like the fourth best hitter in the sport. I'm not even kidding. He would either hit you so hard, that was his first. That was the first thing in his mind whenever you caught the ball. He's like, oh, I'm going to hit this guy. If he couldn't get to you, he would either try to hit you, and if he could get to you, he'd just intercept the ball. Boom. Steve Atwaters. Alright, we are going to wrap this video up. So, those are the best players in each position. So, hope you guys enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.